help but laugh at what would just happen today. Here's the deal. I'm here with my co-host Gabi Lutz, our newscaster Adriana Teles, our lovely, lovely segment host Ian Love, and our sportscaster Alex Braun. My name is Terry Dickerson. I will be your host for this chaotic morning. So today we got tornado warnings in New Jersey, Putin spending, the nuclear treaty, the U.S. Supreme Court evaluating the future of the internet, and so much more. But before we can get into all of that, we need to start our day off with a news update. As always, Adriana, do you want to give us our news update for this morning?
Yes, I would. Good morning, everyone. I'm Adriana Teles, and this is WMSC News. In national news, a Farsi language satellite TV channel based in the United Kingdom said it's moving its operations to Washington after British authorities cited threats to the broadcaster's staff from agents of the Iranian government. The move came from the U.S. and British authorities accused of Iran trying to target critics and dissidents abroad after a wave of anti-regime protests. Iran International Television said Saturday it had reluctantly closed its London studios due to threats against its journalists and on the advice of London's Metropolitan Police. In state news, dozens of towns and school boards have dropped the state health benefits for public workers and chosen to go with a private insurer due to dramatic increases that officials warn could leave taxpayers on the hook. At least 31 letters notifying state officials the towns or school boards are instead opting for private insurers were sent from last year to the end of January. In local news, a 15-year-old boy has been charged in the stabbing that left one juvenile dead and another injured outside of Patterson High School. Police responded to a report stabbing near East Side High School on Friday at 3 p.m. and officers located a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old victim who were both suffering from stab wounds, authorities said. In weather, the weather is currently 31 degrees with a 1% chance of rain. However, around 1 p.m., you can expect rain showers continuing into tomorrow. For WMSC News, I'm Adriana Teles.
Thank you so much, Adriana. And I know we're definitely feeling that weather change again.
Every day.
Every day. It's up and it's down. And today it's super down. Anyways, I'm going to let the man, the myth, the legend himself take it away.
Sports! It's time for sports, people, and we have hockey up first. The New Jersey Devils lost to the Montreal Canadiens last night 5-2, and the New York Rangers will play the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow at 7. And for basketball, sadly, we will not have any New York basketball till Friday. The New York Knicks will face against the Orlando Magic this Friday, and the Brooklyn Nets will face the Chicago Bulls. And in Montclair sports news, the number 2 seed Stockton University men's basketball team edged out a win against Montclair 91-86 in the New Jersey Athletics semifinals on Tuesday. And we're only 2 days away from spring training. That's when baseball starts. And I love baseball, so I personally can't wait. And I've been Alex, and this has been Sports
With Alex.
Sports.
Never disappoints. And I'm also excited for baseball. I'm not going to lie.
I love baseball.
I've been getting into it lately.
Go Phils.
Go Phils.
Go
Reds.
Yankees.
Anyways,
About.
let's get into our first story today. We're talking about this tornado warning that happened in our area in North Jersey. Significant damage has occurred in buildings and trees in parts of North Jersey. One of the towns that was affected was West Windsor Township. West Windsor officials confirmed at least 10 houses were damaged because of trees falling in them. The Red Cross is assisting at least 75 New Jersey residents, and it is not confirmed if a tornado was formed during the storm. It did be windy in these parts, so you know what? I'm not even surprised, but
neither am I.
The damage that potentially was just because of how strong winds are, because we're not sure that a tornado was formed in this area, but the winds right now, they're picking up to a point where that many houses were damaged. That is insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. You know, you can live anywhere and this can happen. And though it doesn't always happen in New Jersey, sometimes it does. And I guess
when it does, it surely takes a toll on the area that it hits. Yeah.
So,
and I'm glad the Red Cross is stepping in. I you see stories sometimes about the Red Cross responding to things late, or the people not getting the resources they need from the Red Cross like they should. So at least in this small scale, I won't say small scale, like medium scale event, they still came through and were helping at least 75 New Jersey residents in this case. So honestly, as long as people are being helped, I don't have an issue with it.
Truth. As long as people are being helped, we're chilling.
I don't know if people are being helped with this next story.
I'm
a little nervous.
I think this is like, it makes me less nervous, but also like, we'll see.
Let's talk about it.
So Putin is going to suspend the nuclear treaty. So Russian President Vladimir Putin announces that he will suspend Russia's participation in the last nuclear treaty they had with the United States. Putin announced this in a State of Union speech where he announced he would not change his strategy with war in Ukraine. However, Russia will not withdraw from the nuclear pact just yet and will respect the treaty's cap on nuclear weapons. Putin said, and quote, "We aren't fighting the Ukrainian people. The Ukrainian people have become hostages of Kiev regime and its Western masters, which have effectively occupied the country," end quote. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said Russia and US should start dialogue immediately. Guterres said, end quote, "A world without nuclear arms control is far more dangerous and an unstable one," end quote. Joe Biden responded to Putin's speech and said, quote, "1 year into this war, Putin no longer doubts the strength of our coalition, but he still doubts our conviction. He doubts our staying power. He doubts our continued support for Ukraine. He doubts that they can remain unified," end quote. But he also said, quote, "There should be no doubt our support for Ukraine will not waver. NATO will not be divided, and we will not tire," end quote. So I guess they're following through with the nuclear pact.
This is some really tension-y things that I'm really scared for.
Terrified. Because there's a lot of tension, and I don't really want to be alive for any nuclear warfare.
Truthfully, and once you start removing yourself from treaties, there is quite literally no documentation that you need to abide by.
No.
And someone saying that they're not going to withdraw from the nuclear pact just yet and respect the treaty's cap, but what happens when you do?
Yeah, like what happens when that treaty caps?
Yes.
And then
what happens when you withdraw from the pact and you don't need to abide by those terms anymore?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really, really concerned about, because it's the fact that Putin wanted to go and say that we aren't fighting the Ukrainian people, they're being held hostage. Yes, they are being held hostage, but
100%.
You cannot claim that there haven't been casualties at the hands of this war.
Exactly. And I mean, nuclear not, war is never a good thing.
Exactly. And what I'm really frustrated about is that I feel frustrated at the fact that Putin frames this in the sense of like, oh, this is like, we're not involving the civilians. It's just like our armies are clashing and stuff like that. But then you look at the actual damage that has been done. Hospitals and daycare centers and people with families.
I mean, we've been reporting on this for forever now, and we've reported on civilians being part of the, the damage.
It's a little bit of an understatement. I can say so diplomatically that you could say that they're just hostages in Kyiv. Yeah. It's way more than that. And truthfully, how dare you? But this really concerns me, just because the second that they withdraw from a nuclear treaty, they have nothing to stop them from pursuing larger measures
100%.
to take over Ukraine or other parts of the world. And it's really horrifying. I can't express that enough, because one person's word is one thing, right? Just like, oh, we're gonna withdraw, but we're gonna respect the nuclear weapon thing.
Yeah.
What is telling me that you will do that?
Nothing. Your word? Do we trust your word?
Yeah, it's a whole trust thing. So I'm personally scared. I don't know about anyone else.
Definitely scared.
But we definitely will be monitoring this particular story always, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I don't like how this is looking, just because treaties are there for a reason. Treaties have always been there for a reason historically. If there was a treaty, there was a pretty good reason why it was there.
And nuclear warfare is never a good option.
Right. Yeah. Like
Standing by that.
The Treaty of Versailles happened for a reason. I'm pretty sure this is why. You know what I'm saying?
Just a
You know what I'm
guess.
saying?
Just a
Just
quick
little
guess, you know.
But we'll surely be monitoring this story for you all so that we can stay up to date. And
There's a lot more stories we gotta monitor,
Yeah.
including this upcoming one.
this upcoming one, the Georgia grand jury recommends indictment for possible interference in the 2020 election. We're talking about this 2020 election again.
As if it's
And
not
tw-
2023.
And 2024 is coming up fast, but we have stuff left unsaid about 2020. The Georgia grand jury responsible for the investigation of the possible interference with the 2020 elections is going to recommend the indictment of a dozen people. Jury foreperson Emily Kaur said the list includes people who the public knows and others that the public won't recognize. Former President Donald Trump might be one of those indicted. Kaur said, and quote, I don't think that there are any giant plot twists coming. I don't think there's any giant, that's not the way I expected that to go to all moments. I would not expect you to be shocked, end quote. Kaur said that one of the first things they reviewed on their investigation was a phone call by Trump where he tried to overturn Biden's electoral win.
None of this is new to me personally. None of this is shocking to me personally. I don't know about you.
Yeah, none of this is shocking, but we got indictments coming. Really looking forward to seeing who would be on that list. Just because
And we
I'm
already know
curious.
one.
Yeah.
We already know one potential candidate. And I mean, he'll end up on this ballot, that's for sure. Oh, too soon?
One potential candidate
Not
for
soon
but will he
enough.
be a potential candidate for 2024? I guess we'll find out.
I don't want to jinx it, but if he ends up on this list, am I gonna be shocked? No, I'm not gonna be shocked.
No.
But people need to be held accountable for quite literally messing with the bounds of our democracy, or however you
Mhm.
want to put it.
And
It's
after
unacceptable.
all that, saying that others messed with it.
Yeah, after all that,
You know,
right?
All that.
And
Sounds
then-
a little hypocritical to me.
And then you go through all this investigation, and you are quite literally eating your words and
100%.
embarrassed.
Is it a good meal? I hope it is.
I surely hope it was, because at this point I'm kind of tired about talking about the 2020 election, but it's still the fact that it's taken 3 years for these people to face any type of accountability is insane to me. It kind of just
Yep.
shows how long investigations take, but two, how kind of backed up
And this is
the-
short for some other
That's very
investigations.
true. That's very
you
true. This
know?
is short, but you never really realize how long these types of things take, especially on a national scale like this, something that
Mhm.
harms democracy.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's taken like a shorter amount of time than usual, but 3 years is a long time.
I
That's a lot of
can't. First of all, I
investigating.
can't believe 2020 was 3 years ago. Like that alone
I
feels
wish
like
it was further away.
I feels like it was so close. Which I don't know.
Yeah, it's really.
I wish it
truly-
was further away too.
I really.
Hey, 2015 seems close to me.
2015 seems close to you.
That was 8
Honestly,
years ago.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well,
It would be Alex to be stuck in 2015.
so true.
Best year of my life.
But you know what I hope goes by quickly?
The break.
The break. So we can come back and give you more stories.
Yes, we'll be right back. We got a little break for you, and we got more news here on the Morning Buzz. Stay tuned.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still
for you. I swear. We're back here on the Morning Buzz with more stories, more stuff for you, because that's what we do. That's what we do. So our next story for today, we're still talking about Supreme Courts and courts in general. Gabby, what's
Yay!
going on?
I love talking about the Supreme
The internet.
Court. I think they are.
Uh,
So the U.S. Supreme Court is evaluating the future of the internet. So the U.S. Supreme Court has to decide whether tech companies like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube can be sued over the 2017 Islamic State attack on a Turkish nightclub where 39 people died.
whoa.
Many of the arguments suggest the platforms fuel the growth of terrorist groups by recommending videos and posts about terrorists. There are federal laws that protect these tech companies, like Section 230 of the Federal Communications Decency Act, which protects, wow, I can't speak this morning, companies from materials to put on their website by the users. And then many of the family members attacked by Istanbul attack say the companies aided and abetted the attack because they participated in the growth of these terrorist groups. So basically, I guess if y'all don't remember, there was the 2017 Islamic State attack on the Turkish nightclub. This has always been a thing, I think, in the platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I remember back in the day there used to be videos of like terrorist videos that somehow would end up on my like homepage,
Right.
and then I would watch it and they'd be like, this is sensitive content, and then my little self would be like yeah, oof, and then I watched it and it was
See something horrible that you probably shouldn't have been watching.
yeah. So I guess this is like kind of to defend those platforms as if it's as if it's not their fault, which realistically most of these platforms do the sensitive content warnings,
Right.
but I mean, can they really just know right away? They have to do research. You know how many people post things 24/7?
Yeah, where
All the
you
time.
see inappropriate sexual content.
Yes.
You see all these other things where so help me understand, like basically what they want to do in the Supreme Court is just make sure there's regulations to avoid terrorist
Yeah, I
posting
mean,
and like terrorist
yeah.
propaganda
So
on social
basically,
media.
they're suggesting that these platforms are fueling these terrorist groups, and that there should be acts that keep certain things from being posted. But in this case scenario, I think it's more than just the Supreme Court making that rule. It's a lot of work for the companies, the platforms, because like I said before, there's so many people posting all the time, millions on billions of posts a day. So
It's already
that's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, especially with the current terms and conditions that social media companies tend to already have, right? Where I'm speaking specifically for TikTok. I know theirs are pretty strict in the sense of like, a lot of people's videos get taken down for showing quote unquote too much of their body or things like that. Presumably this person's a minor, or it's sexual content, what have you, or even sometimes cursing videos get taken down. Like their vetting system is very interesting. But the thing I'm most interested about is how they're going to like verbalize this type of legislation if passed, just because now I'm not condoning this type of behavior, right? But there is a conversation to be had about censorship, and
100%,
which I'm very much against censorship, but like how do you ban certain content from being posted without?
But I guess when it comes to something like a terrorist attack,
yeah, and completely, I would understand. I wouldn't want to see that on the internet as well. And I'm just like interested in what the verbiage is going to be into this type of legislation, just because
it's got to be really complicated.
Is it just going to be international posts, which I think is like, also you have to be wary of that, because then you don't want to make it seem like you're limiting people from international countries from posting. How are you going to vet these things and stuff? And like, what of domestic terrorism as well? We have anti-Semitic groups in our country. We have highly racist groups in our country. What about them who post very similar type of propaganda, maybe not to the violent physical violence extreme, but to the verbal violence extreme, still inciting violence? What about Donald Trump inciting an entire insurrection? Is that not domestic terrorism as well? Like, it's really interesting to see the bounds of where this 2017 attack, which was horrible, gets to go to the Supreme Court, and we have conversations about what can be on and off the internet, but we don't have those same conversations about the things we see in our own country. And again, I'm not condoning censorship at all, but it's really interesting where the double standard is in this situation.
Yeah.
Just because it's just a little, you have to walk a line here. You know what I'm saying? Because if you start censoring things, even things that may not be palatable to most people or may not be morally condoned and things like that, it's just like, how far can you use that excuse or like use that logic to continue to ban more things?
Yeah, and that's where it's going to be complex for them to decide, because the internet is just so vast and complex, and you know, everyone all over the world uses the internet, so it's very difficult, and it's going to be difficult to keep, you know, everything on track and to make sure that people are following.
I also feel
rules.
we don't have the manpower to regulate
We
this.
don't,
We
but
don't.
maybe we will. Maybe it'll help give jobs to people.
Maybe. I
You know-
always hope that someone's getting a new job or something like that.
You
You know,
know?
I'm just hoping someone gets a job or something, but I don't know.
I don't know. I
Um,
guess we'll find out.
I guess
though.
we'll find out.
If all else fails, somebody's got a new job.
It's true.
Let Alex.
You know
do
who
it.
needs to do a
I'll
job?
do it.
California.
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature, truly. We gotta have a talk with Mother Nature, y'all. Because not allegedly, because it's true, California is expecting a snowstorm. What is that?
Let's go.
What is that? All the way on the West Coast, you're
That's a
having snow?
problem. Is what that is.
Are we? I was about to say, are we turning into California? Very much not. I'm cold. Anyways, a snowstorm is expected to sweep most of California, bringing cold temperatures and snowfall at low elevations. UCLA climate scientist Daniel Swain said, quote, "This is shaping up to be a very unusual event. We are going to see low elevation snow all the way from the Oregon border to the Mexican border. It's just a question of how low," end quote. Snow is not expected to accumulate in major cities, but cities near hills could see snow today, tomorrow, or Friday. Swain said, end quote, "Just about everybody who lives in California will probably be able to see snow, at least on nearby hills, and in most cases, in the very nearby hills, probably on Friday morning," end quote. The week of winter weather started yesterday with a strong cold front traveling down California.
You know, this is just terrifying. But you know who would probably be really excited about this?
So,
The kids in Drake and Josh. It's Christmas.
yeah, that's so true.
Remember when they all
wanna
wanted?
see snow? They got cheese.
They
You
got
got
cheese.
cheese.
They got cheese. I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there who are, or even grown ups who have never seen snow before,
And
who
they're
are like,
probably excited despite the fact
that they're cold. you
that
know?
it's a little scary.
Just a little,
But
like climate change and environmental crisis, very
things
real,
like that.
very evident here.
Mhm.
But I mean, I guess you gotta find joy in everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find the positive. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm very concerned about Mother Nature. I don't know how much we need to tell our world leaders that climate change is real.
I think Mother Nature's angry. Me and Tara
I
were
think
talking about
she's
this on our
really
walk
upset.
here.
And now the little hot girlies and the hot boys and the non-binary babes are not going to be able to wear their crop tops and booty shorts out in California anymore.
Do you think
You can no longer be a California girl. I'm so sorry.
do you think they even know that snow is cold, or do you think that they just think that snow is something that happens no matter what temperature it is?
They have to know snow is cold. Science exists in California, I would hope.
Nah,
No, science doesn't exist in California.
just walk around doing their gender reveals and doing.
Not
Are
just-
gender reveals only in California?
Well, they cause a lot of damage in California. I can tell you that, Tara.
That's true. That is the thing, is that a lot of gender reveals will cause a lot of damage because people do things like, you know, like with
Set
The
off
last-
fireworks
set off fireworks
in
and
a
all that.
dry
Whereas, like
forest.
if you do like a cake cutting, that's fine. But like it is known that
One
there
of
are-
the last major forest fires in California was started because of gender reveal.
yeah,
Oh, I
that is
didn't
very
know
true.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe California got to get their act together a little bit too.
True.
Maybe because like I don't know.
Maybe
True
that
fact.
maybe that snow would help them with all the dryness,
Oh
the
my
dry
goodness.
leaves.
I didn't
Mhm.
think like 60 degrees is cold, 50 degrees is cold, which is
Crazy.
insane to me. You are in for a world of trouble, California. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Bundle up.
But
Bundle up, please.
There's also there's a question. Remember when it snowed in Texas last year?
Oh, and remember
Yes.
when their pipes were frozen and they literally could not
This was going
get
through
any
it.
help, because that was the thing, is that in a state that warm, they didn't have the things that you need to prepare for the cold weather. Like when you're
Yeah.
in New Jersey, like our pipes are like, we have everything prepared for if a snowstorm
Right.
happens.
Even if your pipes are even older, like
Yeah, like it's
you'll probably
farther
be
down, like,
alright.
but for them, they weren't prepared for that because they're usually hot. And like that's the thing, is like, like heat, like there's a lot of like countries and states that don't have heaters, or like for the most part, like they have heaters, but like most
Right.
people don't have them because they don't need them until they're in a snowstorm because of climate change. And then they're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm freezing,
What do I do? I'm freezing. Well,
I'm unwell.
I'm unwell. It's really interesting to think about a house with no heating.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That bill must be so nice. That bill must be so nice.
So nice.
But yeah, this California having snow is a little where I don't want to be living the Drake and Josh thing. I really don't want to be.
I would be okay with some cheesy snow.
Mozzarella.
It's
What's snow? Yeah.
That would be like kind of gross though.
Yeah.
You'd have to pick like a dry cheese, because like
Parmesan.
like snow, that'd be
Mm.
kind of like wet and weird.
Well, real snow is kind of
And
wet
mushy.
and weird.
You're
so-
right. You're right.
Weird snow.
You have a little cheese whiz on your jacket as you go off
That's
to your day.
See, only if I have a cheesesteak.
Just put a cheese whiz into like a sprinkler, and then boom, you got
That's like-
snow.
I don't like that.
That where the cheese whiz is spraying out of a sprinkler and everybody has a cheesesteak and they just have to catch the cheese.
I don't like that.
I
It's
think
kinda like-
we, in that moment, just cured climate change.
Yeah.
Boom.
Cheese whiz sprinklers. Let's
Take
move
that,
on.
Mother Nature. Anyways, how about Seattle?
Seattle.
That's close to California.
Traveling north.
We're going to Seattle, people, where it rains all the time. And Seattle is also the first US city to ban caste discrimination. So Seattle has become the first US city to ban caste discrimination after a vote by the city council. Yes, you heard that right. They are the first. Caste is if you don't know what caste is, it's a division of society based on differences of wealth, rank,
it's
or
caste.
caste.
Yes.
Wow. I can't speak. It's fine. Differences of wealth, rank, or occupation in Hindu culture. The councilwoman Shama Sawant said, end quote, caste discrimination is deeply connected to the fight against all forms of oppression, end quote. The caste system dates back to 3,000 years. Some Hindu American organizations think the ban is unnecessary, but Washington, D.C. based Hindu American Federation said in an open letter, end quote, the caste ban unfairly singles out and targets an entire community on the basis of their national origin and ancestry for disparate treatment. End quote. See, things like this I am in support of, because it's not fair to be discriminated against just because of who you are, which in any way, shape, or form, not just the Hindus, like like whether you're gay, you're black, you're Asian, like things like that. And I don't really understand the whole discrimination aspect of things, but I guess it's because I was raised in a household where you love and accepted everybody unless they were an awful person, just period,
Yeah, that seems like a good model to go about it.
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated about the fact that caste discrimination was still present in this country. I didn't know that. This was something that I learned that was very, very new, where I knew of the caste system.
I think it's a lot more subtle.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating about this is that we kind of had to legislatively ban it.
Yeah.
It's a start. It's the first city to do so.
Yeah.
But I'm just so interested by it just because yes, I think there's a regular, like a pretty across the board moral idea that discrimination is wrong, right? But the fact that we need to make it clear in our laws and in our legislatures.
Sometimes you have to, because there are still those awful people out there who decide to do that and go against other people for what? Their wealth and their rank, like they're basically their status,
Right.
Like I could never see hating somebody because maybe they're like on the low income side of life or something
Right.
like that.
I think
I don't understand it.
I think in this case it's particularly for and Hindu culture, correct?
Yeah.
Like this particular ban
Mhm.
only targets Hindu culture.
Yeah.
Which is I'm struggling just because when the Hindu American Federation had said that it unfairly singles out and targets the entire community, I'm struggling just because, like, if that's a part of their culture, I wonder how this ban would affect day to day, and how, because this ban is in place, how that would hinder them practicing their faith. Because I'm
Yeah.
not Hindu, I don't know much about this faith, so on that regard, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, this is a good thing, this is a bad thing, when as to my culture, if people from that culture are upset about it, I want to sit and I want to listen,
Mhm.
and I want to understand why in this particular situation that they would say that this is unnecessary, just because in outside of Hinduism and the secular world, this isn't really something that people adopt in the secular world because it's secular. So I'm interested to look into this story more as like
Mhm.
more develops and more feedback comes in, just because I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, this is a great thing. I'm not
Yeah.
Hindu. You know what I mean? I don't want to
Yeah.
sit here and claim that. So, but
Precisely.
on that note, we're gonna take a medium break here
A regular break.
on the morning buzz, and we got the same stuff. We got news for you when we come back. Keep rocking with us. We'll be back so soon. You know I had to start the morning off with Ashanti, right? I had to. You have me behind the board, and that's what I do. So we're back here on the morning buzz. I have a really kind of funny-ish story. This one makes me laugh a little bit. So Montclair, I love you so dearly. Montclair Movie Theater invites babies to join the matinees, and I'm so excited. So the Claridge Movie Theater on Bloomfield Ave launches Bring Your Own Baby Matinees. The Claridge announced this on their website and said, quote, come see a newly released film in an environment that's friendly to parents and caregivers of new babies. Crying babies and nursing mothers are welcome. Socialize with other new parents and bond over the joys of parenthood. No judgment, just movies, end quote. The initiative starts today with the film Maybe I Go and will be done every last Wednesday of the month. The guests who bring their babies can move freely in the theater and will have the lights dimmed but not off. Film titles are going to be announced in advance so that mothers and fathers can plan their movie going experience. The Claridge says on its website, quote, we're all in the same boat. Sometimes you just need to get out of the house. No babysitters required, end quote. This story comes after New Jersey restaurant Nettie's House of Spaghetti announced that they will not allow children under 10. And why this makes me laugh is that it's just really cute. It's a really cute initiative. Bring your own baby matinee.
My favorite type of BYOB. Bring your own baby.
That's so funny. And like, not to be confused with bring someone else's baby. Please don't take a child.
I mean, unless you have permission.
Unless you have
From
permission.
the parental figure.
You know, that's a good way to go about it. You can bring a baby as long as you know it.
I wish I had a baby to bring.
Don't manifest that.
Not my own.
Yeah,
but
just
a baby.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe like somebody I know's baby.
Yeah.
I don't
that'd be
really
nice.
know anybody with baby.
Gab's open to babysitting, everybody.
Guys, I am open to babysit. Just so I can take your baby to the matinee. You don't have to pay me. I just want to go to this
I
matinee.
think about that.
Go to a movie.
Kids be nuts.
But I'm asking.
You're asking. Okay.
I want to just bring the baby to the matinee so I can see other babies.
Oh, that's true. That'd be
And be like, hey, you know, I just
right.
I love a good little moment.
Yeah. Alex, you were saying something over there. How do you feel about this?
I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
Playing devil's advocate. I don't.
Go see your movie at another time.
I will.
You don't like
'Cause
kids?
I like kids. I don't like
Okay.
kids at movie theaters.
Okay, but it's
Then just don't go.
I'm not going.
Baby time.
it's only on the Wednesdays, the
You
last
have
Wednesdays.
every other time that theater is open. Let the babies have their matinee.
Yeah.
Hey.
No,
How often do you go to
Baby.
movies during a matinee?
I've not been to the movies since probably last
Well,
March.
So then why do you have
It's
to
been
do with this?
72 years.
Because babies should stay home.
Oh,
Wait, can I guess the movie
You
that you
should
saw
what?
last March?
What?
Can I guess the last movie you saw if it was last March?
Yeah.
Was it the Batman?
No, I didn't watch Batman.
Oh.
I don't watch.
The way that you remember that Batman came out in March of last is so
Because
crazy.
That's a while. Also, back to these babies. Roof sticking up my
Alex watched
ears.
Boss Baby and never came back from it.
He said, I am the boss, baby.
And
You know-
he's the
No
boss
other.
right now.
I like babies. Babies are cute. Babies are enjoyable.
So then why would you not want to go to the baby matinee?
Because if I'm going to the movie theater, I got my popcorn. I got my 3D
Well, that's why you're not
glasses
going
on.
to the
Okay,
baby matinee.
I'm not going to the baby matinee. I got no baby to bring.
It is literally the last Wednesday of the month. The last one.
Okay, that's when I was planning to go see a movie. What do you want?
Then see a movie that day, just any
He's
other
like, I'm
time
gonna miss
but the
one tonight.
matinee.
You never go to the matinee.
When do I go to? I just told you I haven't gone to much as much.
So it doesn't matter.
Wait, when is this
You-
baby matinee?
Today.
Today? When? What time?
Well, you
Are you
How long
gonna,
you gonna
are you
go?
gonna get tickets?
I'm
just
going
for
to
the baby
protest.
matinee just so you
Protest the baby matinee.
2 weeks ago he bought an NFT. Now he's getting the tickets. What's going on?
Now
with
he's
this
getting the
man's
tickets to
pockets?
go protest the baby matinee. Why are we protesting a
Why are
baby
we
matinee?
protesting
Let the parents live.
Because I want to go see what movie's playing.
and then the Wasp Quantumania.
Ant-Man.
No, not for the babies.
You know, Ant-Man wasn't too bad of a movie.
I enjoyed it.
It's pretty all right.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I was planning to go see it this Wednesday today, but now I can't go see it at the
No,
Claridge.
there's no
because-
shot.
One showing where it's a baby matinee.
I think
Okay.
Go to any other showing.
I don't know if I would put
May
Ant-Man.
I
in the
go?
baby
That's my
matinee, though.
favorite movie. May I go is my favorite movie. Now I gotta watch it with a bunch of babies.
Yes.
A bunch of.
I had dreams.
You know what? Fine.
Honestly, Alex, you might make a couple friends, buddy. Like,
Oh my! A bunch of
Yes, baby.
Oh my god.
honestly, I think they would really, really enjoy you. I don't think you should write it off. You know,
Okay.
I think it's
I
a
think
great
we'd have
opportunity.
a great time.
Yeah.
Chilling with some babies watching a movie.
Okay, as a future teacher, I might go chill with some babies and
That's
A
watch
future teacher and
I
you
am
and
so
you're
scared
vetoing
now.
a baby matinee.
only the veto. I like babies. I want that
Right,
be
right.
very cute, clear. Babies are cute and enjoyable, but not the
Until
movie.
they're not
But
for
that's
you.
why this is a
see.
specific movie made for the babies.
I got you.
But why is there any movie made for the babies?
So the parents can go out and enjoy life.
Oh, that's
Right.
true. This is about the parents, not the babies, right?
The parents, but in all seriousness, this is so important because I feel like
But also it brings culture to the babies.
it
Yeah.
brings culture.
Culture your
It
baby.
brings culture. This
if
is
you
why
will.
Culture, baby.
I love the town of Montclair so much, just because they cater to their community and they
Babies.
really like they cater to the babies, they cater to the parents, and it's so much fun. And they literally they look at their community and they see what they need, and they want people to get involved even when it seems like you can't.
This
Because
is a cry for help. I need a baby to go to this thing.
I don't know who's gonna give you a
Do
child.
you need a baby to get into it?
I
Because I
assume
feel like
so.
you
I feel
should.
it'd be
Is that like your
creepy.
ticket of entry?
It'd be creepy if
You
you didn't
like-
have a baby. To go to
Yeah.
the thing.
A bag is like I have my ticket.
What if I bring a cat? Is that and I call it my baby?
Your fur baby?
Yeah, it's my fur baby.
That's such a
What
millennial.
happens if I just want to-
So,
But you know what? What if it is my baby?
yeah. I don't know. I'd be a little confused about the biology there happening.
It's a baby.
It's a baby, yes. Did you
It's
birth
my
it?
own baby.
Yes.
It's my own baby.
That's your flesh and blood.
Well, you don't have to
my
birth it
baby.
in order for it to be your baby.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That was really discriminatory.
Yeah. What the heck, man?
Can I bring
Are you not going to talk about adopted children? That's my adopted baby.
Okay. Well,
But Adriana,
I can't listen to
adopted.
that.
How you
I
feel?
know.
But Terry,
I
I'm
know.
adopted.
But the thing is,
Wow, Terry.
not an animal.
Maybe she is a furry. What are you gonna say?
Are you a furry, Adriana?
No, but I could have been.
Yeah.
Wow,
She
Terry.
literally could become a furry tomorrow, and you're gonna hate on her.
Okay, listen.
You're
Wow.
discriminating against furry
Terry
ladies.
sitting,
Apology video
You
now.
do right now.
Terry sitting up there on their high horse, judging me.
Apology video right now.
Hi, Mom, because you're listening out there. I'm so sorry that your daughter is discriminatory towards fur babies and the adopted community. So
And the
sorry.
furry community.
And the
Where this Terry sitting up there on your high horse,
Uh,
making fun of me because I just don't want no baby matinee.
I
There's
want
a lot
the
of
baby back.
discrimination in here right now.
No,
We're not Seattle in here.
God. Maybe we need to have a ban
All bad.
in the studio. But
Banning Terry from hating on fur babies.
okay, okay. Listen, I know I have things to work on. Okay.
Yeah. Go work on them now.
I need to work on my bias. And while we work on our bias, we're gonna start our favorite segment of the week because I love talking about theater, and I'm sure Mr. Love, Dr. Ian Love does too.
Yeah.
Ian, take it away.
Hi, I'm Ian Love, and this is Seasons of Ian Love. So our top story today, coming from yesterday, on February 21st, members of the far-right neo-Nazi movement protested the show parade with handmade signs featuring hateful speech, while simultaneously yelling at theatergoers and trying to hand them anti-Semitic flyers. The group chose parade to protest due to the show being about the true story of the false conviction and murder of Leo Frank, a Jewish man, in 1915. The group, also known as the National Socialist Movement, protested the show on account of denouncing Leo Frank's innocence, and the flyers they handed out opposed the Anti-Defamation League, a nonprofit that devotes itself to victims of anti-Semitic allegations that was created in response to Frank's murder. The producers of the show told Playbill, end quote, "If there is any remaining doubt out there about the urgency of telling the story in this moment in history, the violence on display tonight should put it to rest," end quote. Ben Platt, who helms the production, took to Instagram after the show to express his thoughts on how the experience was scary, but a good reminder of why theater is so important and powerful.
I'm a big Ben Platt stan.
I am also a big Ben Platt
I
fan.
agree. This story is absolutely heartbreaking because theater is a safe space for everybody. You
Yeah.
know, that's what really drew me to theater. I was never really a big theater kid growing up, but the reason why I was drawn to it was because you go into a theater and you feel immersed into a community and you feel like you're safe and you feel like you're part of something. And for people to come here with really harmful ideologies and protest that is, it's so disgusting. It's so disheartening. And I hate seeing it happen. You're ruining safe spaces for people who need it. And you're infringing on storytelling that's so important, especially when it involves the innocence of a Jewish man who was murdered. You know what I mean? How do you deal with that?
You have to think of all the, especially the younger theater goers that were in the crowd that night, that were going to see the show, that maybe saw themselves within the show, and now they're seeing all these people outside who
That's
are
gotta
protesting
Right.
them.
It's got to be an uncomfortable experience.
has to
Very
be.
much so.
Theater should not be an uncomfortable experience.
It shouldn't be.
Unless you're seeing Book of Mormon.
I think Book of Mormon is like not as uncomfortable.
It's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
But it's not oppressive.
No.
It's just satire. But like regardless, you bring up a good point with like young theater goers and things like that. I think it's just a harsh like reality that it's just the world that we live in. And like I don't want to be pessimistic in saying this, so I'm trying to choose my words like wisely, but this stuff happens all over the place. And it almost seems like safe spaces get smaller and smaller and smaller as the years go by. And that's scary. But I think the job of the people and the people who want safe spaces and who want to enjoy the things that they want to enjoy, I think it's our job to kind of advocate for change and denounce these groups and things like that so you can reclaim the space that is yours. And how is theater supposed to tell the stories of others, tell the stories of people who didn't have the voice at the time, when there's people like this who still don't change? They never change.
Nope.
But at least in that sense, there's a majority of people who would denounce like these types of groups. So
yeah.
It's very true.
Hopefully they don't continue to do this during the entire run of Parade, because personally I want to see it. I really, really want to see it.
From what I've heard and like heard of reviews and heard song clips, it sounds like a very good, a very faithful production. And I enjoy, enjoy is not necessarily the right word, but I appreciate the reaction that the show had to this and saying that this is awful. But using it as a 7.2, this is why we need to tell a story like this.
That's so true.
Taking
It's
that
like,
angle on it, where we need to inform people because there's so much out there going on with spreading everybody's ideologies that we need to tell our story so people know.
Of course, and it's so important, just because like I said before, theater takes you out of the real world for a second and just allows you to feel the story as is. And why let this stop you from doing something that you love when that's the whole reason why? It's for education, it's for fun and things like that. But in this particular thing, is to tell a story, to tell history. So yeah, on that note, I think we can move on to the next one.
Moving on to our favorite reoccurring show on this segment.
Ian, don't do it to
Don't
me.
do it.
So as some of us know, on the 17th of February, a very special show started previews.
The worst day of my life.
Awful.
And because of that, 3 Andrew Lloyd Webber leading ladies have recorded congratulatory messages for Lindsay Janau for her opening preview for Bad Cinderella on Broadway.
You've icked me.
Let's go.
So we've got
How's your NFT, Alex?
Only soaring in price.
You got it for free.
Yeah, and it's still free. 1,000 people haven't bought it yet, so I can't get the next one. So.
True. But we've got Elaine Page, who originated the role of Eva Perón in the London world premiere of Evita, Betty Buckley, who won the Tony Award for originating the role of Grisabella in Cats on Broadway, and Glenn Close, who originated the role of Nora Desmond in Sunset Boulevard. And they all wish their best to Janau, who is currently starring in the production as the titular Cinderella.
You know, if I will say, I think the entire state of New Jersey knows my reservations about Bad Cinderella at this point. However, I know for a fact if I got a recording from those three individuals, I would lose my mind.
Mhm.
I would lose my mind. They're incredible. They're icons. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna give Lindsay Janelle her flowers on, taking on this show
Yeah.
and being the leading lady. Like you deserve your props
like
on that.
congratulations for being a leading lady, period.
And dealing with the horrible writing of this show and horrible songwriting. Okay?
And
Hey.
the entire state of New Jersey knows about my hatred for Andrew Lloyd Webber. So
Yeah. So,
Mm.
but the interesting thing about this, I want to acknowledge the fact that with the preview coming out, there was a video circulating social media of like the opening number. What are your thoughts?
The opening or are you talking about the titular number of Bad Cinderella?
Yes.
Okay, so I have seen that. My thing is why I like this story because I'm never going to put the blame of a bad show on an actor. The actors
Yes,
and everybody,
absolutely.
a lot of the people involved are just doing what they're doing the best with what they're given. And from that clip, I could see that everybody on stage with what they were given were doing the best. The choreography looks pretty decent from what I saw.
I wasn't impressed by it.
I thought that it worked.
I wasn't
How
impressed by it.
dare you?
I mean, the show writing itself might not be the best,
Yeah,
but
I
they're
think
doing
They
what they
did
can
what
with
they
it.
could. Like you were saying, I had a problem from like everything. The costumes were giving Descendants, like
Mhm.
the hair.
whoa. What's wrong with Descendants?
I'm not saying there's
Don't
anything
ever-
wrong with
Don't you
Descendants.
ever
I'm just saying it doesn't belong on Broadway. I'm just
That's
saying.
an insult to Descendants.
I love Descendants.
So why are you insulting it?
I'm not insulting it, but I'm saying like there's a time and a place. You know what I mean?
Also,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, she's giving me more side eye right now.
from what I have read about it, the entire plot is just they try to do a Cinderella story, but the subplot is that the town is we've been voted the most beautiful town ever for 49 years straight. This is gonna be our 50th, and then Cinderella goes and vandalizes a statue, like puts graffiti on it, and then because of that they don't win. So then the entire town hates her,
Good.
something like that.
I would hate her.
High key thought it was because she was like an ugly Cinderella or something.
No, it's because
No,
he's the
she's
punk Cinderella.
The
That's why
bad
they
dude.
hate her.
Better.
She's a rebel.
But
Without a
the literal
cause.
theme song has no punk to it.
It does not.
Isn't it crazy?
Mhm.
What's nuts about that is that Andrew Lloyd Webber has done like rock musicals before
Mhm.
and has done them well. So I'm confused. Where was that in this scenario? Because that song Bad Cinderella is too, I don't know. Like when she sings it, I know she's trying to be like rough and tumble and all this
But
stuff,
she's
but it's just
not.
not. It's just like
It's
There's
very
only so much you can do with that song.
yeah.
Really.
It just didn't happen. And like I said, and the hair, like
Mhm.
it's not this isn't a dig at her like physical appearance. It's a dig at costuming. Why did she look like the hairdresser from Legally Blonde? Why? What was her name? Patty?
Paulette.
Like it was giving Paulette. I was
Her.
confused. I didn't understand.
Before we
Love
end
Paulette.
our segment, I would like to give a special shout out to a show starting previews this week, and that would be the very awaited revival of Sweeney Todd at the Luntfontein Theater.
I love
Starting
Sweeney
previews
Todd.
on February 26th, of course, starring Josh Groban and Emily Ashford, but also Jordan Fisher and Gaten Matarazzo.
So excited for that.
Guys,
So going from Andrew Lloyd Webber to Stephen Sondheim, who,
big Stephen Sondheim fan.
as you should, everybody should
May
be
he
a big
rest
Stephen
in
Sondheim fan.
I love Sweeney Todd. I was so upset when they took it off of Netflix.
Oh, but it's on HBO Max now.
It is. Oh my god. Oh, I have my login to HBO Max.
Oh.
Thank you. Shout out Sydney, my roommate.
You can
Giving me her HBO Max. I
you
will be
can
watching
watch it after the morning buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
That's one of my.
Ooh.
Ooh, I liked that.
Thank you so much.
That's one of my favorite movie musical adaptations. Is Sweeney Todd.
It's so good. I absolutely love Sweeney Todd. It's just the perfect amount of like,
Yeah.
but like also like, ooh, you know.
I
Good way to put it. Yeah.
tend to enjoy Johnny Depp and Helen Bonham Carter as Sweeney and Mrs. Lovett.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Those-
say the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
that
This-
pair-
I feel like they just really embodied Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett so well.
They ate. and
They
left no
they
crumbs.
ate.
So
They
real.
ate all the meat pies. All the meat pies.
I'm really interested in seeing Josh's take on the character. I think he's gonna do very very, very well. I have no reason to think that he wouldn't do well in this scenario. It's good to see him in a darker role for once. Like, I feel like a lot of the time he's either like a broken man or like an angsty man or someone adventuring, but now he could be like, for a change, like a really, really dark character. So I'm excited.
I'm excited to see Jordan Fisher. I love
well, he was the last time he was on Broadway, he was in
Evan
Evan Hansen. Yeah, and I think
and I
love
love Dear Evan Hansen too.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I have my reservations about that show too.
Whatever.
The soundtrack is good.
I love Dear Evan Hansen. I saw it with Ben Platt. Saw it with the original cast.
You're so lucky.
And the second he came out on stage, I cried.
No way.
He was not there the day my brother saw it.
Oh, he was there.
My brother won the lottery, got front row tickets for it, and then Ben Platt was not there.
That's
was my
awesome.
soul.
You know,
That's the guy from.
And we went because our show choir would go on a Broadway trip every year. And that was my
Yes.
sophomore year Broadway trip. And it was brand new. And my director was like, we're doing it. We're going. And so, and I saw
Were
Ben Platt's
tickets
name
cheaper?
and I was like, Pitch Perfect's my favorite movie. I love Ben Platt. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was cheaper back then because it was so new that like people didn't
you
really
went
know
They hadn't
in
about
won
it.
all the
beginning.
Tonys yet.
interesting.
I like went when it was
y'all
like, on
lucked
the
out then.
first
That's
one.
awesome.
I also saw Prom when it was in when it was in theater and for like that month that it was
The
that it was on
preview?
Broadway.
Oh, because of COVID, or no?
It was just I guess it just didn't
Okay.
really
Or
do
closed
well
quickly.
and
I
it
think it
just
just
closed
closed
really
quickly.
quickly. But I saw it in those like 2 months that it was on Broadway.
That was me with Tuck Everlasting back in 2016.
Oh, I wanted to see Tuck Everlasting because I have a crush on Ben Cook, and he's like,
I saw
ensemble.
Yeah, I saw it on a school trip, but I didn't. Here's the thing: I'm a little resentful towards myself because I didn't know who anybody I was seeing, but like I saw Terrence Mann, Andrew Keenan Bolger,
What?
Michael Park, all these Broadway legends, and I didn't know who any of them were.
Sometimes that's like nice though. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't have like the screen of like, oh my god, like they're right in front of me. You just watch it for what it is. There's
And
like
then later
I
you can
really
appreciate
enjoyed
the
it.
fact that they were in.
yeah, like there's beauty in that.
There is.
I
What?
saw Wicked this weekend. I won the lottery.
Ooh, how
Yeah.
It's a good one. I've seen it a couple times.
And it was with a new.
a new Glinda, right?
Yes, it was her
Mackenzie
Broadway.
Kurtz.
It was her Broadway debut.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
think she was on the floor.
That's such
Yeah,
a good
Wicked's like
experience.
an insanely good show. That was my
Yeah.
first
But-
ever Broadway show.
The craziest thing that happened that show is this 8-year-old climbed on stage during
No.
intermission and started dancing on stage, and no usher was there to like react. She just like danced on stage. Her mom was like taking pictures, and then
Not the pictures.
and then
I'm
she
the
got off
pictures.
stage, and like no usher was there to yell at her.
Pulled my kid right off.
This is why Alex doesn't want babies in a theater
Yeah.
because of that situation.
I get it.
No, I thought it was
I
hilarious.
understand.
That's why I want babies in theaters. It caused that chaos.
Love that for you.
Nikki just said on that note, we're 4 minutes into our second hour. We gotta start it like we always started. We gotta start it with our news update. Adriana, tell the people what's going on in the world. Give her the mic.
Sorry, I got
Alrighty. Good morning. My
Morning.
name is Adriana Teles, and this is WMSC News. So for national news, a Farsi language satellite TV channel based in the United Kingdom says it's moving its operations to Washington after British authorities cited threats to the broadcaster's staff from agents of the Iranian government. The move came after the U.S. and British authorities accused Iran of trying to target critics and dissidents abroad after a wave of anti-regime protests. Iran International Television said Saturday it had reluctantly closed its London studios due to threats against its journalists and on the advance of London's Metropolitan Police. In state news, dozens of towns and school boards have dropped the state health benefits plan for public workers and have chosen to go with a private insurer due to dramatic increases that officials warned could leave taxpayers on the hook. At least 31 letters notifying state officials in towns or school boards are instead opting for private insurers, and they were sent from last year to the end of January. A 15-year-old boy has been charged in the stabbing that left one juvenile dead and another injured outside of Patterson High School. Police responded to a report stabbing near Eastside High School on Friday at 3 p.m. Officers located a 14-year-old boy and 16-year-old victim, who were both suffering from stab wounds, authorities said. Now for weather, the weather is currently 31 degrees with a 1% chance of rain. However, around 1 p.m., you can expect the rain showers and you can see them continuing into tomorrow. For WMSC News, I'm Adriana Teles.
Thank you so much, Adriana. Now moving on to the man himself.
Sports. Yes, I am Alex, and this is sports. First off in sports, the National Hockey League. The New Jersey Devils lost to the Montreal Canadiens 5-2 last night, and the New York Rangers will play the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow at 7. And for basketball, sadly, we will not have any New York basketball teams played till Friday. But when they do, the New York Knicks will face off against the Orlando Magic. And at the same time, the Brooklyn Nets will face the Chicago Bulls. And for Montclair sports news, the number 1 seed Stockton University men's basketball team edged out a win against number 3 Montclair 91-86 in the New Jersey Athletic Conference semifinals on Tuesday. And we are only 2 days away from baseball spring training that starts on the 24th. And personally, I can't wait. And I've been Alex. This has been sports.
Thank you, sports guy.
I feel like
Thank
he
you,
gets louder
host
with his
guy.
sports every week.
I know. I feel like my eardrums are withering away. I'm kidding.
I have to start turning down my volume.
No, that's
just for
so
sports.
real. We gotta put like a headphone warning for the
Okay.
listeners. Moving on to our second favorite segment of the week. We got a little new thing going on. We're not doing confessions today. We're doing dating advice.
I love
We're
it.
doing dating advice, and
Dating
as
advice is so fun.
a reminder, every time we tell y'all, but we gotta keep telling y'all. These stories aren't our personal ones. I promise. These are stories from anonymous people who submitted to Reddit. So
And we're gonna
get-
give them our advice.
We're gonna
because,
give them
I'm a
advice.
dating professional.
We're professionals. In the face. I can't. So, what to start off? First story. Am I too late? So this person I used to be clingy to me, but I was too careful at the time, so I probably did not meet him halfway. The only time I started to be more transparent with my feelings was when we needed to go separate ways. Not too transparent, but still careful. But I messaged him, and I will always admit I miss him whenever he asked, but he never said it back. Then he stopped responding to my texts as much, and we can't hold a decent conversation outside the group chat. So I backed off. Almost a year of no communication. Someone connected us. No one knows whatever type of relationship we had in an Instagram group chat. None of us two followed each other after, but I
Person was just on it. Like, hey, like I'm just being standoffish a little bit because like I'm too afraid or
Right.
whatever, then it probably wouldn't have failed. But because people are too scared to be honest, it did not succeed.
That's true. That's true. How do y'all feel about this situation?
I think that maybe there's something to dig up there, but like you already said, there has to be a moment of, hey, we need to talk about this and be just completely open. Because I think just in general, communication is key with anything, because two people might be thinking completely different things, and if they never express what they think, then how are they supposed to know that the other person's thinking differently? And it just creates all manner of messes.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like she just needs, or they need to. I'm not gonna assume it's the girl, but this person needs to evaluate the situation a little more. Like,
Right.
all they did was they weren't into them, and now they are. So they need to see where the other person stands.
Yeah.
Like, be like,
It
hey,
seems like
listen.
the other person's moved on almost.
Yeah, if the other person moved on, leave him alone.
Right.
Leave him
Mhm.
alone,
I
because
agree.
that's wasting your time.
That's so true.
Don't let a man waste your time. Don't let a man waste your time.
Never let a man waste your time.
What about you, Rizzler Braun? What advice do you have for this poster?
Some men are allowed to waste your time.
Only if it's Alex. Are they allowed to waste your time?
I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, if they're over it, like that's your fault.
nothing
know?
nothing you can really do if they're over you. That's your fault. You messed up.
Yeah, you messed up, and sometimes people can get a second chance, but if you don't, well, you did that to yourself,
Or-
kiddo.
Oh,
Or if nothing's changed, and oh well,
It's like
get
nobody's gonna
together,
wait for you.
have fun.
You know, No, I'm
Right.
sorry, nobody's going to waste their time waiting for you. I said what I said,
They
and
shouldn't
I'm
have
not what
to.
I said.
I agree. It's the uncertainty in the post. It's like I might have not met him halfway. He was kind of clingy. I might have not have done that my part.
I
and
might
stuff
have
like that.
been standoffish.
Yeah, like you probably should have communicated how you were feeling so that that person didn't feel like you weren't meeting
Exactly.
them. And like you were saying, it was just a communication issue. But now you can't expect them to come back around when you're just like being like slick on social media with we all played that game before. That's just a merry-go-round.
And it really is. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever comes out of it. You know, I've been in that situation a million and one times.
Right.
Just go round and round and round.
Love a good merry-go-round
does.
ride.
But yeah, that's the advice I
Oh.
think I would give.
Yeah.
But what about this next
I'm
one?
excited for this next
You
one.
talk. You
Because
take it.
I feel like I have advice for this one. I did it. I got a date. Now what? Hi. I haven't been on a real traditional date since I was in high school. I'm 23. I met someone on Bumble and we were just kind of online. We text a lot and play video games a lot. Been in a Discord calls a few times. Today I decided to ask them to see a movie with me and they were all over it. This is our first time meeting in person and I'm very, very nervous. My question is, what now? I'm so new to this. I don't know if I should pick them up because that could be seen as dangerous to some people or if we should meet there. Or what should I say? Do we talk during the movie? I'm so bad at this. Sorry, LOL. And advice is welcome. So, as somebody who gets terrified for a first date, the best thing to do is be honest. And if you mention that you're nervous, there's a high percentage chance that that person is nervous too.
Mhm.
Swear.
Mhm.
Swear, it's happened a million and one times. And not only that, like for the first part of the should I pick them up, because that could be like dangerous or whatever, you should probably go separately and meet there.
Mhm.
But if you also choose to be like picked up by them or to pick them up, please send your location to like 3 friends
Right.
and make sure that they have your location, they're looking at your location, because that way if something happens they know where to find you.
Right. And to go off of that, I think it's not an absolute red flag to pick up somebody, but I think in terms of the safety aspect, I completely understand. So I would also opt to just go separately, just because like
It's just
you don't have
easier
the
that way.
pressure of also rushing for somebody else and all
Exactly.
that stuff.
And if you need an out, you have an out.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
And that's
my
always
big
a thing.
I think along with everything else, along with safety, that if you drive together, if the date goes bad
Mhm.
and maybe you don't feel that connection, you're still driving home.
And that's
with
gonna
them.
be
And
such
that's
an
going to be such an awkward drive home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is, because then they're like, oh, I had a good time, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know, and
Oh, and
to
then
have that out is always a good option.
yeah, and maybe after a couple dates you could consider driving together or whatever. But yeah,
Maybe
that's
even the second date.
Yeah, once you know the person and know that you guys have
they're not
that
that
spot.
dangerous.
exactly.
Human being.
Movies are the worst dates.
That's
Worst
the
date
worst
idea.
For a
date.
first date,
Yeah.
Because then you can't talk. Like that's the thing, is like you can talk during the previews and you might make a comment or two to each other during the movie, unless you really are only dating this person for something other than a relationship, which I don't need to mention it, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's no reason to make that, like if you're doing like dinner and a movie, that's fine,
Yeah.
that's
but
yeah.
just
Other
the movie.
Are there
I'm
babies?
sorry, that person wants one thing from you, and
Are
it's not a
there
relationship.
babies? Are there babies there
Because
Are they going to the
It's-
baby matinee?
on the last Wednesday of the month? Maybe potentially.
wait, it's the last Wednesday of February.
Yeah,
Wow.
because in
Yeah.
a week it would be February 29th, and it's not a leap year.
It's not a
That's
leap year.
Great. It's not a leap year. I
Sorry,
don't know. When
leap
is the leap year?
Next year.
2024.
Sleeping?
I don't know. It's in
I
the
think
It's
leap of
every
the
4
year.
years.
Honestly,
Flipping and leaping.
I
Lippin' and loppin'.
do agree that movie date, bad idea for a first date. But if there is some initial spark for meeting this person, it opens up the invitation to afterwards being like, hey, do you want to go grab a bite to eat and talk about
Do
the
you want to
movie?
go to Subway?
If
Subway.
someone asks me to go to
Recently-
Subway, it's done.
Go to
Okay,
Subway.
You're eating fresh. I don't know.
And you're eating a
It's
sandwich. It's not
Subway.
expensive. You just spent like 30. Okay. Like traditionally
Movies
uh,
are expensive. I just went to see a movie and it was
In this
so
economy?
expensive.
in this economy, we're going to Subway.
just as expensive as the ticket.
Oh,
Completely awful.
and any advice to give to this person? I'm saying pull up to the Wendy's. You're getting a 4 for. No, like, are you kidding?
No, splurge and get the 2 for $6.
Get the $5 biggie bag.
Seriously though, like dates are expensive as it is, and like if I'm going on a first date with somebody, I want to have that moment to have a connection with them because some people balling on a budget and
That's when
stuff
you
like
split
that.
the bill. That's when you're like, you buy the tickets, I buy the popcorn.
Yes, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
that's what my brother and I do.
That's true.
So I've only ever been on one date ever in my entire life. And this is what happened. We were watching a movie, but we had like this blanket sprawled out and he bought Burger King. And we just talked during the movie because we'd already seen the movie. But it was nice because, like you said, ball on a budget. We got Burger King. It was very cheap. It was very nice though.
That's such a cute
And
little college date.
it was my first and only date. And it was
That's
very
cute.
sweet.
Aw.
I don't talk to him anymore. But he was so sweet. He was such a nice guy. So sweet, so nice. And that was like 4 months ago. He was so sweet.
That's so cute.
I want to do like a movie like out on the ground, like out on like a park or something, and they play a movie and like be like have like a picnic.
They
Overrated.
did that a lot back home.
I know.
When
They
we were-
do. There was one
Overrated.
like last. See, I don't agree.
Overrated.
Okay.
I've been to one of those. Not fun at all. Just sitting in a cold park with a bunch of strangers.
What do you enjoy
Watching
doing? You
Utopia.
don't want to go to a movie matinee with babies. You don't want to do a picnic in the park. What do you find fun, Alex?
I go to somewhere.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I need to, Alex. What is your dream date? Please.
Subway.
So I went on my dream date this Sunday with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out. So it was Sunday and we both worked on Valentine's Day, so we couldn't do anything. So I took her to the melting pot. We just sat there and ate bread and cheese for a good 2 hours, and
See,
that's
that
my
sounds
dream
like
date.
a good date,
Mhm.
if you ask me.
And then we both were full with bellies full of bread and cheese. And then there was also like ravioli and stuff that we cooked in like a broth. And then there was chocolate. And then I was really sick because there was a lot of bread and cheese. And also she's gluten intolerant and lactose intolerant, but she doesn't care.
Yeah.
So
That sounds like.
and then we went to go see Wicked. And then we went to sleep.
There was like a trip to the bathroom in between there.
Not for me. I don't. Let's not get off at that point. No, but just a belly full of bread and cheese. That's my ideal
I think you know what?
time.
That
I
sounds
could
like
agree, that's
a
right.
medieval peasants.
Melting cheese, delicious.
That sounds wonderful.
I mean,
like
I'd be
grilled
out.
cheese, but avant-garde.
Avant-garde,
Oh,
bougie, if you will.
Bougie
But there was
cheese.
apples, and I complained to. No, I didn't complain to anybody. I was just like, "Why are there apples?" And I ate
Because
it.
then
Dip in
you
the
dip it
chocolate.
in the caramel.
No, it was with the
Why are there
cheese.
babies?
Ew.
Why are there
Why-
babies?
Why are there babies?
Why are they
Why is
babies?
apples in my melting pot? Why?
But the park movie is overrated. I will stand with that.
See, I want to go to one anyways. And
Okay.
decide for myself,
We'll do that.
Alex. We'll do that, Adriana.
Okay, you sit on the hard floor and watch Zootopia.
That's why you get a comfortable blanket.
Mm.
Zootopia.
Bring some pillows, you know.
That's
Then now you
movie
now
that's
you got
fun.
dirty pillows.
that's real.
Honestly, you want to know what I want? I want the whole not enemies to lovers arc, but like the
The love of
playful and the loving enemies to lovers. Think I'm only thinking of this because I recently watched this movie for the first time, La La Land, where it's like the
Watch that?
for the first time ever
That's
last
seen
week.
it.
Yeah.
No way.
I'd heard the music, of course, but I've never actually seen the movie, and I thought it was great.
You know what?
So good.
That's great.
You know what? On that note, I
What?
think we can go to break. We're gonna take the
You're
tiniest little
A
break
smidgen of-
here.
A teeny
On
tiny
the
break
morning
while
bus.
I dream up some more dates for you guys.
That's so real. I'm just queued up. Love is gonna lift you up by Bobby Womack. So when we come back, we're gonna talk about more entertainment stories here on the morning bus. Stay tuned. I'm here. Hi.
So
So
Zoom, you're telling me Zoom missed my whole fire
Zoom
entrance?
did. Sorry, your mom missed it.
Mom, you missed my fire entrance.
Anyway, Zoom, because you missed the Rolling Stones and the surviving Beatles might record a song. So artist Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr may come together to record a song with the Rolling Stones. Here we go with the references. Many fans feel satisfaction and are twisting and shouting to hear these groups possibly join their forces to make music. Recording sessions took place in Los Angeles and have not been confirmed whether McCartney nor Starr will make the final cut of the Rolling Stones' new album. McCartney mentioned in an Instagram post, quote, "I've been recording with a couple people, so I'm looking forward to doing even more. I've started working with this producer called Andrew Watt, and he's very interesting. We've had some fun." Watt is the producer of the new Stone album and has produced rock artists like Ozzy Osbourne and bands like Pearl Jam. So for my rock fans in the studio today, how do you feel about this?
It's me, I'm Audio.
That's awesome because I don't like modern music except Love Is Gonna Lift You Up.
I don't know if
But
that's modern.
but I don't like kind of now music. So getting music from like people from like 50 years ago is gonna be pretty awesome. And we got Ringo and Paul.
Ringo and Paul.
Ringo.
I love both the Rolling Stones and the Beatles,
People.
even though there's only half of the Beatles left. But still, I'm excited, and I love, because my music taste is very diverse. I go from pop to rock to R&B to rap. I'm all over the place. So something like this is very exciting because it's two iconic bands coming together.
Right.
And come together. Sorry.
You need
Anyways,
help.
I'm really excited for this collab.
I'm very
Like
excited.
I'm just curious to what the song's gonna sound like, just because is it gonna be more mellow? Is it gonna be like
Is it gonna be
Hi,
Here Comes the
and-
Sun?
is it gonna be Here Comes the Sun?
You guys need help.
What?
It's all right.
Help, like the Beatles song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I got it now.
Is it gonna be a heavy rock song with Paul McCartney? Yeah,
Oh my
I wanted
god.
to make sure he was one.
That would be
This-
really fun.
Ringo Starr bashing it out on the.
And they're a little
Ringo
bit
can barely play the
jargon.
drums. Like he could bash on the drums.
They're not spring chickens anymore, guys.
Not the spring chicken.
Yeah.
Do you think
They're chicken nuggets.
They're really
They're
just
chicken
crispy.
tenders.
Overcooked in the air fryer, you know what I'm saying.
they're really
Do you
just
think- Do you think they would do a show together?
yeah.
You think?
I
Probably.
mean, I'd
Probably have.
if you're gonna release music together, I mean,
It's kind of an indicator of a show, right? That's
Better
a
be.
typical pattern we typically see.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
You
I
know,
don't know if they have the physicality, or I don't know, they're rickety behinds getting up on stage, but you know what?
Didn't Paul McCartney just recently do a tour?
I think he did.
yeah.
probably.
No, he's touring. I think he has
Right
tour
now.
dates.
I think he does have tour
Oh.
dates. You're right.
I think he's really at the
Director should know that.
at the
Guys.
moment he's really just live and let die.
Is that really true?
Living the video.
According to Adriana, which is according to Google, the oldest Rolling Stones member is 78, and that's Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
Okay, Mick Jagger.
And Ronnie Wood is 74.
That makes very much sense.
Wow.
That's gonna be.
Paul McCartney's 80.
I want to see who's at that concert. If
Wait.
we
How
have
old is
one.
Ringo Starr?
Ringo is 81 and Paul McCartney's 80.
I want to see who's at that concert. Gaia, my grandma, you going?
Oh my god.
Probably my dad.
I think me. I would
I'm
go.
so funny. I know.
You
Actually,
are.
I don't think my dad likes the Rolling Stones too much.
Like a rolling.
Shout out to my
stone.
Uncle Tony, who would definitely be at that
Tony.
concert.
Yeah.
Uncle Tony Morano, we love you here.
The
We love
most
you
New-
so much. Shout out. You would definitely
It's
be
the
at
most
that
New
concert.
Jersey thing.
Dad,
Having
I
an
think you're
uncle named
listening.
Tony.
I think one of our old Buzz producers, Kenny Horn, would be at this concert. He loves the
That's true.
Beatles. He loves the Beatles so
He
much.
does really love the Beatles.
Wait, does that mean the Rolling Stones will play some Beatles songs?
No, I think it'd be like they do their own sets. Maybe.
to come together. Oh, well.
No. I see what you did there,
Can't
sir.
escape it, guys.
During the song come together.
Yeah, during the song come together. But I think it'd be cool to hear like some Rolling Stones like songs and like Beatles songs, like
Unless-
performed by all of them.
It's just a Rolling Stones concert, and then for one song they bring out Ringo and Paul, and then they leave.
It's also very.
You see them
likely
literally
happen.
walk off stage, like they literally just join the crowd. Like,
They just joined the
They join the mosh pit in the middle.
They're like, let's do it.
On that note, I think we can move on to our next story.
Yeah.
Just go down this long,
So,
windy
let's
road.
talk about Liam Neeson and James Bond.
Boom.
You're done. Wow, Alex, you're done.
That sounds like some strawberry fields forever to me.
You know Eleanor Rigby, am I right? guys?
Hey, Jude. Your name's not
You
Jude, but if it
fine.
was
Say it
Jude.
already.
Liam Neeson.
Hey, Liam Neeson, you rejected James Bond. That's so crazy. So actor Liam Neeson said he rejected the role of British secret agent James Bond because his wife, Natasha Richardson, threatened to not marry him if he did. Really? Wow. Well, that doesn't sound very nice of you, Miss Natasha. Neeson said that after his Best Actor nomination for Schindler's List, wow, I literally am struggling today to speak, he received calls from 007 producer Barbara Broccoli. You're telling me her last name's Broccoli? Goodbye. Schindler's List has come out, and Barbara Broccoli had called me a couple of times to ask if I was interested, and I said, yes, I would be interested. And then my lovely wife said to me while we were shooting, no, down in the Carolinas, Liam, I want to tell you something. If you play James Bond, we're not getting married. Why? I don't understand that. James Bond's kind of cool. Whatever. His love for his wife made him reject the role and never took a serious meeting with Broccoli. I'm so tired. If I was in Neeson's quote, if I was in Neeson's position, I would have been James Bond. It's James Bond, and I would look so good in that suit and riding an Aston Martin. This is a quote by Victor Muniz Rosa, our buzz producer.
You know, I maybe not taking a serious meeting with Miss Broccoli wasn't because Liam Neeson was rejecting the role. Maybe it was for other reasons. But regardless, I am trying so hard to understand why his wife wouldn't want to be with him if he was 007. That's a pretty cool role. I can't say what I actually want to say on air, but that's
Yeah.
super cool.
But
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't 007, doesn't he have a love interest? What if she was worried about
Yeah,
his love
Bond
interest?
girls.
But Liam Neeson's been a pretty established actor for a while. He's had to have love interest in other movies. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's no.
He seems
He's
like
an
a
actor.
loyal guy.
You
I
know
don't
how
know this
some
man.
you know how some actors and actresses they have a new partner and all of a sudden they change. How recent is she? That's what I'm.
Yeah, I was about to say
She's
she
trapped.
passed away in 2009.
The wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Wait.
wait a minute.
This was before this is a while ago because this is after Schindler's List, which is
So
early
the
2000s.
position-
Oh, this is a little
Natasha,
fun fact
um,
moment.
Is not alive currently.
This is just a fun fact.
So this is just
right
a
now.
factoid. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's not very fun.
This is just Liam Neeson was offered the role when it was up.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because Schindler's List was 93.
Okay. I was concerned. I was like, what is this new woman gonna tell him?
Is no longer here.
Yeah.
Was that? I'm trying to think of timeline when Daniel Craig took the role. Was that the one Liam Neeson?
Oh,
Hey,
no.
well,
I
when-
don't know
when
the
was the
James
first-
timeline?
There's
All
so
I know-
many James Bonds. That's why I'm
Probably, yeah.
where would he have fit
Well,
in?
I don't
There's
know.
been James
I just
Bond
know
movies
that I've
since the
seen.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where in the timeline because I think before Daniel Craig it might have been Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
yes,
guys.
so it
So-
was either from what I can understand in my head from when Schindler's List came out, which I don't remember,
93.
93.
93. So it had to have been Daniel
So
Craig.
GoldenEye,
so.
well, GoldenEye came out in 95.
Update.
And that was Pierce Brosnan.
So update. This is true. Yeah, so here's all the info, right? This is confirmed by Victor, so if it's wrong, it's Victor's fault. Adriana, you're right. She was scared that Neeson was going to get with another woman because of his Bond status.
Wow.
So and Neeson was going to be Bond when Pierce Brosnan became Bond.
Okay, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
props to Adriana, Miss Detective.
Adriana really guessed that.
Investigative journalism right
That
here.
wasn't too hard of a guess, but you did it.
It's just, like,
You did that.
fascinating. Interesting.
You know, my favorite Bond movie is the Octo movie. I can't say the
That's
rest
my
of
favorite
the-
one too.
It's so
That's the only Bond movie I've ever seen.
because it's funny. It makes me chuckle, and I can't even say the rest of the name on air.
I'm looking it up.
You know. Do
It's
you
just
not
so
know what they're
stupid
talking
that it's funny.
It is.
Oh,
It's
What?
Oh,
what could that movie be about?
It's just so
not
stupid.
what you think, actually. It's really interesting. I read the Wikipedia. But anyways, you know
Google.
what? Google?
A quick Google.
A quick little
It's the
Google.
only James
Google.
Bond movie I've ever seen.
A goggle, a Google.
I don't think I've seen any of them.
Giggity doodle. That's where I'm at right now, guys.
Yeah, we need to go. to
I'm
break.
like ready to nap.
No, I wouldn't make James Bond puns.
No.
No,
That's pretty Skyfall, dude.
Look, this is
you're gonna torture us
Spectre.
with these puns. But
I'm done with the puns.
we're done with the puns, so we're gonna go to break. We need to take a break. We're losing our minds.
Yeah, we have
So-
no time to die.
losing my
Oh wait, come on. We stay
Casino Royale.
I
on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We're back. We have more entertainment stories for you. Gabby.
I do have. So we're following
What are we following?
the saga of the Spain train.
Oh yeah.
The Spain train.
Spain train. Insane in the
So
membrane.
if you were listening last week,
Insane
was it last
train.
week that we talked
I
about
think it
this?
was, yeah.
There was in Spain, there was 31 trains that were bought and they did not fit in the tunnels, which I don't know how they got them anywhere if they didn't fit in tunnels, but
Makes
there's so
sense.
many questions that I just don't have
I
answers
think
to.
we decided that they built them in Spain.
Oh yeah, and then they just were too big. So the purchase of these trains cost the Spanish government 227.5 million pounds. And because this was such a big no-no and you just messed up, the Spanish Transport Secretary Isabel Pardo de Vera and the head of the state rail company Isaiah Taboas, I probably said that so wrong, resigned.
Oh.
They resigned because they were the ones
I guess if you're embarrassed that much, then
to do that, and they didn't fit the tunnels. So the trains were going to be used for routes that connected to Cantabria and Asturias regions. But they can't now
because
because there's why can't they return them? I asked them last time.
What are they gonna do when they have
Asked them last time.
They go for the
an
tunnels.
expensive mess up. Like
I know, and that's why they probably resigned. So
yeah,
the
I
Spain
would be that embarrassed to quit
So
my job.
the Spain Transport Minister Raquel Sanchez said, and quote, "From the moment I found out about this matter, I've done everything I could to find out what happened and to find a solution." End quote. I'm telling you the solution. Return them.
You can't. I guess
What
you
if there's
can't
a
return them.
How?
You have to deconstruct.
So why can't you return them?
But also,
They
how
weren't
do you get
used.
to the end of the process before you find out that they don't fit?
Right.
How's that not something you
Because
find
nobody
out after
measured.
the first train?
Sure.
Because nobody measured. They probably
s-
just made them all at once and then we're like, all right, time to go put them out. And then they could not.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's a
good
little
enough.
embarrassing. Good
Good enough.
It's like, do you think this would fit? And they like holding their thumb up to the tunnel, held their thumb up to the train. It was like, that
It
that
works.
looks right.
Right.
It's about right.
I still can't believe they can't return them.
Wait, do we think it's
I think-
31 individual trains or
Yes.
31 carts
31
to a single
individual
train?
trains.
Or like
31 trains.
31 carts.
A link.
Like like one long
I think
31
it's like
car
the full
train.
train.
31 of them.
31 full
No, I think
trains.
it's 31 separate trains.
Did we ever find
That's
out if we could buy
awesome.
one off
Good for you,
Facebook
Spain.
Marketplace?
You know,
Spain
Spain.
really did that. Oh my gosh, can you get one off Facebook Marketplace? I'll
I know
buy
we
one.
found the
How would
plane,
they
but
get
did
it to
we
you?
find-
The tunnels don't fit.
That's so
Well,
real.
they can airlift
Build
it to me.
Bigger tunnels. I don't know.
And then we can put them in our tunnels.
Yeah, why
because
don't
our
you just
tunnels
take a
are probably big
sledgehammer
enough.
to the tunnel and then
We don't
boom?
have very many tunnels actually. It's just real.
We have like the Lincoln Tunnel.
We have the
Oh,
Lincoln
well,
Tunnel, the
But
Holland
that's for
Tunnel.
cars.
That's true. That
I
is
think there's
cars.
tunnel in Staten Island or something.
I'm sure there's plenty of
Staten Island.
tunnels.
Okay.
I put on a tunnel. Find a tunnel.
We
Well,
could
we don't need tunnels. That's the whole point, is that they would just fit on our railways because we don't need tunnels.
that's true.
I got a
I'm just
question.
saying, Spain. Hi there. If you can't return them, give them to me.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a
with
train
31?
conductor. Woo woo.
You already spent the money on them. It's not like you're gonna get that money back. Just
What are you gonna say, Tara?
I
Melt them down.
I think
for
this is the
sweat.
part of the show where I say that CAPS is a resource on Montclair State's University campus, and I'm looking at Gabby as I
I'm a
say
train
that.
conductor. Whoop whoop.
Choo-choo.
I'm scared. Whoop,
I'm a normal conductor for like electricity.
I have to talk about the next
I-
story.
Okay.
I can't do the trains anymore.
Whatever, that's fine.
Thank
I
you.
can.
I'm glad somebody
Spain.
heard it.
Yeah, you got it.
You
got
heard
it.
me, baby. I'll take the train.
So this Ohio pizza store
Take the trains off
Once.
your hands.
It's
don't want the trains,
Spain
Gabby.
without the S.
They don't want the trains. They want non-stupid people.
Some may
in
say
their
that
staff.
Terry is in Spain without the
Without
S.
the A.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
Help me
Spain.
as I blink at Facebook for help. Anyways,
Hey, you need 31 trains that don't fit into tunnels. That's
what am I gonna do with that?
I don't know.
Well, they'll
Sp-
fit in our tunnels.
You don't even know that for sure.
Yeah, they might.
USA.
How do you know for sure?
We're USA. We're bigger. We're better.
USA.
Similar to how this Ohio pizza store wants non-stupid people on their staff.
Oh, so they don't want Terry on their staff. Got it.
I won't say it out loud, but
They don't want Terry on their staff. No.
Wow.
It's
So on
okay.
that note, pizza is one of the most beloved foods in the world.
I love pizza.
Anybody can enjoy it, and I hope they enjoy it because I'm not enjoying this time right now.
I'm having a
Whatever.
blast.
However,
Oh,
one Columbus, Ohio pizzeria doesn't want stupid people, quote, to be part of their restaurant.
so true.
Understand.
This pizzeria is the culprit here. Posted a sign reading, quote, now hiring non-stupid people, end quote.
Same.
Many went to social media to react to the ad. Co-owner Jaden Donegan said, quote, it's more humor than anything. It's not meant to target anyone or be rude. Donegan said she posted the ad because it had been hard to find employees with a good work ethic. A manager from Santino said he wants workers that are reliable and, quote, don't come to work in sandals, end quote. Working with sandals, that's some
Sandals?
stupid behavior. I don't know. I feel like having the dogs out sometimes is necessary, but maybe
Not when
food
you're working in a
service.
food service.
Yeah, in the
No.
food service.
Not food
See,
service.
But you know I'm gonna go.
Oh,
Victor
oh,
is
look
not
at that sign. Victor pulled it up for our metamates out there, but the sign is huge and it says now hiring non-stupid people. But like, I get it; they're
That's
just being honest.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, there's nothing
like
really.
not-
I don't want to hire stupid people, and realistically, nobody hires. Well, they might accidentally, but nobody wants to hire stupid
Yeah,
people.
nobody wants
Yeah.
to hire stupid people. It happens.
I want to hire.
And for a matter such as
This.
pizza, you need the most eligible, equipped employees that you can have.
Amen.
Okay, but there's only one problem,
What's the
guys.
problem?
What's
Is
the
it that
problem,
it's not
Alex?
so?
It's Ohio.
Oh,
So, like,
True.
let's be honest.
What is in Ohio?
That's
smart
it's-
people.
it's gonna
Pizza's
it's gonna be a little bit, harder to
Stupid
find.
people in pizza.
I mean, I think stupid people make the best pizza.
Have you made a
make
pizza?
pizza?
Yeah.
Oh no, I make calzones because I'm fancy.
Wait, calzones or
I-
strombolis?
Stupid people.
I'm one of them fancy folks.
I see.
I don't like calzones because I don't like ricotta cheese.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay.
You don't like
Ricotta
ricotta
cheese,
cheese?
it's too grainy for my taste.
You're too grainy for my taste.
I'm a stromboli guy.
What does that mean, Gabby?
I don't know.
You're
It's a bit grainy. A little too grainy.
I
That's
laughed
real.
so
Don't trash
hard when
her.
you guys said Santino's because my brother's name is Santino, and he
Santino, okay.
legitimately talks about how he hates stupid people all of the time.
Does he
So-
own this?
The-
business?
yeah, is
That's
this
what
his?
I
Did he
laughed
move to
at.
Ohio?
And you
I
went.
was like, is my brother secretly the
Went
owner
on
of a
to live-
pizzeria in Ohio?
I would do that. I would buy some food restaurant across the nation and then remotely run it from here. Just never tell
and
anybody.
never tell anyone.
That's called being
But
a
don't worry,
corporate
there
business.
won't be any ricotta at his pizza place.
I eat
That's
ricotta.
why I'm multiple states away. Is because they have ricotta and I don't want to be anywhere
Then
near it.
why would you sell something you don't believe in?
I believe in it,
That
just not
sounds
for
pretty
me.
Stupid to me, Ian.
Look, I believe in ricotta. If you like ricotta, good for you. It's
I-
not for me.
I eat it by the spoonful.
That's
Just right out of the
disgusting.
Big ricotta fan.
You're the one ricotta
Say
fan I
it,
do
you
not
guys
support.
say it because it irks me because
What,
I am
ricotta
Italian.
cheese?
Yeah, I am an Italian
You have to
American.
say ricotta.
I see
What
it
about the
ricotta.
cheese?
That is how I say it. That is how I was.
Do you
taught
say
to
mozzarella as mozzarella?
Mozzarella.
Mo-
Because you have the A
Okay.
and
Pronounce-
the N. And
Ricotta.
Italian Americans, they will drop the ending, so it'd be ricotta or mozzarella, right? But it's just when you guys say ricotta, it's it goes up. It goes up.
Ricotta.
because I am a white girl from New Jersey.
What a born bred American.
I am
USA.
Jersey. That's it. That's my blood.
I
About
eat that
saying
Wisconsin.
mozzarella. Sounds fun.
I eat that Wisconsin ricotta, not them Italian.
Wisconsin cheese curds.
She's a lot today.
Have I?
That's like a
Yeah.
theme in Alex's life.
Sucker.
He's like a little
Oh, yeah,
medieval
'cause I eat
peasant. All he
nothing.
cares about is bread and cheese.
See cheese.
I don't like this. I mean,
Chewy.
hey, actually, when I was a kid, I didn't like cheese.
You didn't like cheese?
No, I couldn't eat cheese.
I love
I didn't
cheese.
I mean, I could,
Honestly.
but I just chose not to.
I didn't like cheese sticks back then because now I do. I think they're fun, like the string cheese.
But deep fry them and
Oh, string cheese is so good.
I-
We need to
Overrated.
move on before I
We
get
need
hungry.
to move on, but we're still talking about food, kind of.
String
know,
cheese
we
makes
need
the
to move
grill.
Okay.
From cheese.
I make grilled cheese out of string cheese, but that's
What is it? What is this?
Fine.
What is ketchup?
What are they doing again?
Guys, nobody knows what we're talking about yet. I'm just so like feeling like ill right now that like anything is funny to me. So Heinz wants to find the person who survived a month in the sea with the just ketchup. Now, if you want the best advertisement of your life, that's the person to find, is it not?
That's true. That's true.
They could make so much money if people were like, yeah, I survived off of only ketchup.
ketchup
Hey,
challenge.
Is that true?
Right? Like that's kind of cool. Yes. So this is actually from this news story is from CBS News. So ketchup is of course one of the most used condiments in the world, and there's nothing better than eating fries with ketchup.
I'm not a ketchup person.
Unless you're a mustard person.
I'm not either.
I like mustard as well, but one man ate ketchup and seasoning
What
for a
season?
month in the middle of the sea. For this, Heinz wants to buy the Cast away a new boat. Can't speak.
I don't
Oh.
think.
He's gonna buy him a new boat. Is there gonna be more than just ketchup on
It's
it?
not gonna be triggering. Like
I don't think that's the right Heinz.
I don't know. Anyways, so Heinz in an Instagram post said, end quote, to whoever finds this message, we need your help tracking down an amazing man with an amazing story. You may remember Elvis Francois as the brave sailor who survived on nothing but ketchup and spices while adrift at sea for 24 days. Well, Heinz wants to celebrate his safe return home and buy him a new boat, but we can't seem to find him, end quote. Francois was working on his boat in St. Martin when he accidentally drifted out to the sea. The Colombian Navy saved him from after he had lost his ability to navigate. Francois said in a quote, I tried to go back to port, but I lost track because it took me a while to mount the sail and fix the sail, he said. I called my friends and my coworkers. They tried to contact me, but they lost service. There was nothing else I could do than sit down and wait. End quote. And also eat ketchup and seasoning, apparently.
That is so scary. I don't like comment like. Oh my god.
Oh.
Help us find the ketchup boat guy.
They made a marketing campaign out of it.
This is so funny.
There's a hashtag.
But I agree.
They just want to use him for their benefit.
Yeah.
Now they're getting free marketing right now.
Yeah.
They are.
I agree with what you said with the whole getting the guy who just got stranded out to sea a boat.
That's like, you know, PTSD is
like
real,
that's like
right?
getting somebody who
Like
just
using
got into
him
a really bad car
for his
accident, getting them a new
PTSD.
car. It's like,
Yeah.
you think they're gonna want to?
Oh,
You
new
think they're
car.
eager about
Right.
driving again?
Whoa. Like it's a little.
I think the boat should be bright red and have the 57 just slapped on the side.
It should be
It's
called
like the Oscar
SS
Mayer car, but
Yeah.
it's a boat.
Yeah.
the SS Heinz. Because at this point,
Ketchup
they're
is
just gonna
overrated.
stick their name on everything that this man does.
I'll get a
They
Heinz boat.
think that. Did they ever think with their own mind that maybe he's not coming to them because he's so triggered and has PTSD and he doesn't want to be associated with them?
Maybe.
Also,
Maybe
if
he
I
just
had to
wants to move
survive off
on.
ketchup for an entire month,
I
I
would
would
never
not
eat
want to
ketchup
touch
again.
ketchup ever
Never
again.
eat ketchup anymore.
I would be so embarrassed because, like, for me, I feel like being in that situation is so scary as it is. And you're alone, you can't contact anyone.
Mhm.
You're stuck with ketchup
Yeah.
and spices.
And then when you come back, you're known as the ketchup guy.
yeah,
Hey, ketchup boy.
I would be so embarrassed. I would feel so upset. I would crawl under a rock and I would stay home because I would never want to leave my house again.
Is the rock at home?
The
I would
rock
throw
is out.
tomatoes at this guy.
Oh my
Be like, hey, ketchup guy. What? You got lost at sea? I can't navigate properly?
I feel so bad for this man because now he's stuck with ketchup guy
Yeah.
and
Bullies like
and bully
Alex.
Alec.
Okay, I'm sorry for my sting. Okay, I'll
Don't
stop.
bully the
Bullying
ketchup
is-
guy.
right.
He's been through enough.
skinty he was. Like that must be a really good diet. Should I try that?
No.
Follow me on my ketchup diet for the next month.
Is that like healthy to eat only ketchup?
I mean, he survived.
I mean, How much? Yeah, how much did you lose?
My journey of only eating ketchup.
I'll go on this journey too.
Salty. It's really high in salt. I can't believe you said that.
Why?
I wonder how skinty he got.
He probably got really skinty.
Maybe.
it like-
maybe.
I mean, like, I know I would probably get skinty.
I feel like anybody who's lost at sea with a bottle of ketchup
And
for
seasoning.
24 days. And
How much
seasoning.
ketchup did he have?
Yeah, no, I want to know why.
Was it just one bottle, or did he happen to have like 10 bottles of
So
ketchup?
if
with
that
him?
was one bottle, he was definitely skinty.
Yeah, like I imagine.
Little packet.
So I work at a.
Kills a packet.
What if it was like those little tiny packets that you get at like a fast food restaurant and you have to like peel it open? But imagine like
ate like a Go-Gurt.
yeah, he ate a Gurt.
Oh my
That
god.
would be there were people in school that used to do that in elementary.
I still do
school.
that.
Was
There are people who just combine
That's
every single
nasty.
liquid they could together and make like the master liquid.
Friend who we're not friends anymore, but this was middle school. They drank nacho cheese, the school's nacho cheese, out of a straw.
Oh jeez.
And if y'all know what school nacho cheese is like, it's like basically water.
It's either
Not a
water or
straw.
plastic. There's no
Either
in
way,
between.
it's
It's
kind of
not viscous enough.
And they drank it with a straw, and I'll never forget that.
I want to pose a
I
question
mean-
to the group.
Yeah.
So if you were lost at sea for 24 days, what's the one thing, one food, with the exception of spices, that you would want to have with you?
So wait, are we assuming that we can have
A
spices?
burrito.
The spices are there.
Spices are there. Okay.
Burritos. You want to know why? Because they have so many different ingredients in them that you can just like take some out, put some in. You know,
You know what? I want to change the question. If you had to pick a condiment
Ketchup.
other than
Oh.
ketchup,
mustard.
unless you're a ketchup girl, mustard.
I'm a mustard girly.
Interesting.
Although I don't know if the mouth would like get like.
Yeah, your breath gonna
I'm
be
gonna
ripe.
say something so crazy right now.
Are you gonna say mayo?
No, you guys are going to look at me insane.
It's gonna be
Okay.
oil.
A1 steak sauce.
I was gonna say that.
Oh my gosh, everyone in my
A1's
family
good.
looks at me crazy because I
Do they not
literally
like
used to like they like it, but I like it way more than them. And they just look at me crazy because I would like douse my steak. But no, if I had to bring one condiment, A1 steak sauce.
You know what?
I like
Immediately.
it. I like it.
I think
respect
I'm
it.
Give me a good garlic aioli.
Interesting.
That's gonna.
Your breath would be right too.
Who's gonna be there to smell my
breath is-
breath?
Chicken.
Yo, if we're out there for a
I would
month,
get so sick of a garlic aioli that fast. Like I love garlic aioli.
Maybe like a sweet and sour sauce. I agree.
I'm thinking, give me just a
A
Sweet
cheese
Baby
whiz.
Ray's BBQ
Cheese
Ooh,
sauce.
Cheese sauce.
cheese sauce.
Cheese
sauce.
That's too funny.
Give me okay. So I make this sauce from McDonald's.
Oh my gosh, this is what I want. I want Alex's sauce.
I want so it's Big Mac sauce,
Mm-hmm.
sweet and sour sauce, honey mustard sauce, ranch sauce, barbecue sauce, and hot mustard sauce.
Sheesh.
Mixed in a little container. Just give me that. Like give me a.
Put it on the bun.
I
and
get it
then
on the
he eats
bun, and then I eat the bun with the sauce, and then just like slap me on a boat for a month with a big tub of that. I'll be a happy camper for days.
That
Mhm.
sauce sounds so
For
good. You gotta
me-
make us that sauce, Alex.
For me,
That's the sauce.
yeah,
Give
that
us
sounds delicious.
sauce.
For me, I would pick Chipotle sauce here on
Ooh.
90.3 WMSC Upper
That's
Montclair.
a little too spicy for my taste.
I don't know. Buck up, buddy.
Spice.
Buck up. But the reason why I said the top of the hour is because we are at the top of the hour. It's 7 o'clock.
Oh.
Hey, DJ's here to do their test. So we gotta go. But tune in all this week for the Morning Buzz. But if you like us a little more, we'll be here next Wednesday. I'm Terry Dickerson. Gabi Lutz is here with me, with Adriana Teles, Ian Love, and Alex Brown will be here next week.
Adios.
Goodbye. Have a good day.
Bye.
You're